What's going on? It's Justeeni here. I'm better than you. Man, that was a terrible intro. You guys suck at Polytopia. That was even worse. I am disappointed in you guys. These aren't good intros at all. And screw the intro. You guys know what this is about. This is 10 common mistakes that you guys may or may not be making. You won't know until you watch the video. Ooh. Whenever you buy a tech in Polytopia, it should be helping you win the game. If it's not, don't get it. Sounds simple, because it kind of is. Remember, techs are expensive, and those stars can be used for other things. When you buy a tech you don't need, those are wasted stars. And always remember, the goal isn't to get as many techs as possible. Don't think, I get to get a tech here. Think, I have to get a tech. Only if you have to. Do you have to get a tech in this situation? If not, probably don't get it. Only get a tech if you really need it. Make more units, guys. Just stop letting your cities get sieged and having no plan for defense. And more importantly, if the opponent's not training enough units, you need to be ready to punish them. If you don't have units, you can't do that. Units are really important for winning the game. I know a lot of you guys like to just sit there and pretend it's an economy building game. It's not. You need to make units. You need to take cities. Do all that stuff. Units are really important. And make units. Units are really good. But do you know what's even better? Super units. It's kind of in the name. It's like a unit, but it's super. Super units are really important for pretty much every tribe. These are the backbone of your middle game army. Giants are really tanky and really good on defense. Dragons are also good. Centipedes, those are also... You get the point. Super units are good. Not only that, but your first super unit is also especially good because when you get that first city to level 5, you get the Park of Fortune, which can speed up your eco at the same time. So you get a really nice 2-for-1 deal there. If you don't get that, you're putting yourself really far behind. Let's be honest, we all did this at one point. We saw the funny border growth button and thought, why would I ever want 3 population? But 3 population is actually usually better than the border growth. The border growth should never be your first consideration. Getting those giants faster is very important, and getting them for cheap is also very important. Only get the border growth in situations where pop growth either isn't enough or there's some really good opportunities. There's a few reasons why you might go for border growth, such as setting up market spots, or if you have really good resources outside of your terrain. But overall, population growth should always be the first thing that comes to mind when you're getting a city at level 4. Border growth is the exception, not the rule. Similarly, workshops are not always the best thing to get. Do not get all workshops in your games. Get some explorers, get some vision. Vision, in many cases, is a lot better than 1 star, and there's even more uses for explorers, especially with how good they've been with the recent updates. They go for those lighthouses so often. You can get Eye of God just straight up with only a few explorers on a small map. You just get a monument. That's way better than a couple of workshops. And in the middle game especially, that vision is going to be so much better than 1 star per turn. And even in the early game, being able to kind of see how the map looks and adapt can in many cases be better than just 1 star per turn. Only get workshops if you really need that economy. Otherwise, stay safe, get some vision. Every map type in Polytopia is different. Treat them differently. Don't spam workshops on dry lands, and don't just go explorers like crazy on a continent's map. Remember that each map type requires a different strategy, and there is no one-size-fits-all. If you play on a tiny drylands, you probably shouldn't get meditation with IMO, but that's probably a good idea to do on a continents map where you can get away with that. And there's a lot of strategies that are going to vary from tribe to tribe based on the map type, and you need to recognize that. No two games of Polytopia are going to be exactly the same. Stars are a very important resource in Polytopia, and it seems like the best time to use stars is now. That's not always true. In many cases, your stars are better left unused. It seems like they're wasted there, but they really aren't. It's much better to invest your stars later into something useful than to invest them now into something that might not actually be good in the first place. And keep in mind, some important purchases might require multiple turns worth of stars, so you'll have to save stars for some important purchases. Saving your stars can help you stay more flexible, being open to more options in future turns, rather than putting all your eggs in one basket. Units are good. I think I mentioned that in like 2 other tips. But yes, it's true. Units are good, and you should understand how units interact with each other. You don't want to be that guy that uses 2 warriors to try to siege a city with a full HP warrior. It's just not gonna work. Remember your interactions. There's a lot of them, but they're very important. Some good ones to know are that a 7 HP rider dies to a full HP warrior, and a 23 HP giant is the minimum HP for it to kill a warrior on retaliation. There's many other important interactions, but I would have to spend all day listing them off, so you guys need to figure them out for yourselves. This tip also ties into units. Surprisingly, units are important, and you want to make sure you're using your units properly. You need to make sure your units aren't just sitting there. Playing defense can be good, but if you can play a good active defense, that is much more important. Passive units are not going to help you win the game. They're going to allow the opponent to get away with all sorts of things. You need your units to be active. No matter what they're used for, they need to be active. You can't just have them sitting in the back. Even if they're safe, you do need to get your units out there if you want them to truly get their money's worth. Now, while you want your units to go out there and do things, you don't want to take it too far. Make sure when you attack with intention. You want your units to get good value, but that doesn't mean attack everything in sight. If you siege a level 1 city, that's not going to be very good value unless you expect to keep it. If you throw a giant in front of a bunch of catapults, you occupy their catapults for a turn, sure, but you kind of just wasted a super unit. Again, whenever you attack, there should be intention behind those actions. You should have a good reason every time you attack. Polytopia is a strategy game. You need strategy. You can't just go unga bunga. It doesn't work, except for the times when it does, but it usually doesn't work. So don't be too aggressive. Use your units wisely. So that's all the beginner tips, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.